Welcome back to the Core Collective Podcast. Today we're joined by Clay Wood.
Hi.
And Patrick Booth.
Heyo.
Today we're going to tackle Adeptacon over the weekend, the 2025 championship that they held there. Before that, it's been a good week. We're happy to be back at it. Yeah, things are going good. Let me pull up the new. I'm gonna give you guys a little preview, and then Clay is gonna get into it more later. But if you guys notice a little change, HCUnits looks a little different.
And you should check that website out that's on the top, which we're not going to say over this, so you have to go see our video of it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So no, it's fine. Let's say so. Been working on a bunch of big changes. We're going to start rolling it out very soon. What we're going to talk about right now is currently in beta, so you may see a couple of bugs, but we're hoping to roll it out very soon, and maybe even by the time this podcast or this video has reached you. So a bunch of changes coming soon to HCUnits.
I love it.
Woot woot.
We'll talk about those a little bit. Talk about those more in a little bit.
Sounds good. All right. So
Adeptacon.
Did either of you guys go?
No.
I attended it virtually. So this is what I was going to say. So Adeptacon is the first WizKids event run on HCUnits. Woohoo!
Nice.
So I got to play the role of attending it virtually and hanging out at my computer playing tech support over the weekend while everyone else got to play. But it was still pretty cool. It's always neat to hear feedback and about what's going on and try to be fixing bugs and adding features in real time. And this was actually the first time that that they did a Battle Royale championship that was run through HCUnits. So if you go to the events and the Adeptacon circuit page, sorry, Battle Royale. So we ran all. So, Jeff, you want to click on events? Top of the page, or yeah, there you go. That works. And so, but if you click, so they see on the left, there's a Battle Royale standings.
Nice. There you go. Ricardo Cora.
So it tracks all players. So they ran all Battle Royales, units over the weekend. Recorded all the results there, so you can actually see who played who and how they did on every Battle Royale this weekend. And then it awards 6 points for a win, 4 points for second place, 2 for third, and 1 for fourth place, and then sums them all up for you, and whoever gets the most BR point winner. And our first HCUnits BR champion is Ricardo.
So are you suggesting that at Worlds there's going to be a world championship for Battle Royales?
I believe that's the case. We're going to do that. I think we're going to keep doing this going forward, and you'll be able to track your standings in real time on HCUnits. Boom.
Well, you know what? That's it. I'm putting my hat in the ring. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to try and become the first world champion of Battle Royales. You heard it now.
It requires real dedication, Patrick. Look at Ricardo played every single BR over the weekend.
That's all he did was Battle Royale.
That is okay. I am game to do.
Barely edged out Abraham. Look at how close this was. I love it. I love how tight that was at the end. That's like the difference between a win and second place. That's it. That's all it came down to. And then Jalen Major was dominating throughout the weekend. But then decided to go play like real HeroClix.
So I will say that Abraham had more points than Ricardo.
I saw, yeah.
Gotta love that aggressor rating.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. So
win's a win, man.
Anyways, sorry, total, sidetrack there, but I thought that's a fun little.
I'm coming for that this year, boys and girls. You just pay attention.
Nice. All right. And then these are the individual battle royales, right?
Yes. So every single event was run through HCUnits. Not only the battle royals, but also the supercharged sealed.
Fun, dude.
And and then the main events too. So
nice. Very cool.
Sorry, Jeff, you're like checking out. Doesn't the UI look so much better, by the way?
Dude,
like, anyways,
it's so much easier to
overhaul.
navigate. It's easy. I love it.
My eyes love it, man. Yeah. They love it. They're drinking it in.
Yeah.
All right. Boom. Adeptacon 2025 Championship standings. All right. Logan Pregano. Did I say that right? Logan?
I think so.
Apparently he wants you to hold these nuts, apparently.
All right. So, spoilers. Collector came back with a vengeance. So, he went Cap Shield, ESD, Motorcycle for the reflexes, and Broadsword for +1. So, this guy's always at a 22. Unless you're playing Mern or Kale, right?
I think this is really similar to Matty G's build from CCS.
It is.
Is that right? Yep. It's I mean, man, it's pretty tough to crack a, what is it?
22?
22.
You need 10s with 12s.
Yeah, pretty tough to kill that just to get a hit, let alone multiple hits through all those stop clicks.
This guy hates Jennifer Kale, though.
Yes. So, question: Were the new Deadpool trick arrows not legal for this?
They were not legal.
I feel like they've been out for a while.
They haven't all come out yet. They're only starting to leak out now.
Oh, what was their release date? It was
I think I was only seeing them this week.
It only came out like this week, man.
Could have sworn the release date was the 19th.
Jeff, you're confusing a product that should come out on Valentine's Day with
Mark.
They don't actually come out.
Whoa! That requires common sense, and that does not exist here.
I'm gonna check the release date right now. But you guys can talk about the team. Anything else changes? Sideline seems all the same, right?
I'll say this way: as a person that has played Collector prior, I love the fact that he has Panther and Kevin on here, because Panther stops the only thing that shuts down a Collector, which is a Beetlejuice. And Kevin is just said, "Hey man, reroll that Shape Changer Super Senses."
Yeah, release day was the 19th. March 19th was release day.
Yeah, wasn't Adeptacon last week?
Yeah, 7 days after release. No,
14, 2 weeks.
Regular sets are Iconics different? I thought they were like regular set where it's 7 days.
I always thought it was 2 weeks.
Never 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. But
Clay,
19
are you familiar with the rules?
26, right?
I know a little bit about rules, but I don't remember what they decided. It was one of those things where I don't think there was broad availability, and so I believe the judges probably had to make a call as to whether or not it would be legal.
Got you.
I mean, that's a fair choice.
I had mine on release day.
We all can't own stores.
Well, saying my store had them on release day.
I guess more people need to shop at your store, Jeff.
I mean,
I don't disagree with you, Clay.
How many of these Captain America shields do you think exist?
I don't know, but I really feel like I need to go buy one now.
You mean $200?
Oh my God. I mean, what do you think there are? Like 8 of them? 6 of them? I mean, it's got to be,
Well, I'll tell you what.
Like,
I own at least 2 of the magic carpets.
2 handfuls. I've seen at least 4 or 5 of the Collector's Trove chase boosters open, and not a single one had equipment in it. That's a rough set of equipment
all right, so Captain America shield's $100.
Ooh.
Should I buy one? That's the question.
Wait, here, I'm going to go to eBay really quick before Jeff can buy it.
There's 2 at 100. There's 2 at 100. The question is, do I buy one? Because apparently you said they're $200 booth.
Wow, okay, I'm completely wrong, apparently.
I thought they were $200.
Unless all 6 or all 5 are on eBay right now.
All 5, right? Papa needs one.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Dang. We'll see.
Pretty good.
Leave your comments
in the collector.
Leave your comments if you think Jeff bought one or not.
No, Jeff's wife would kill him.
I like to live dangerously, my friends. All right, moving on to Azria Strife, right? I think I said that right. See what my friend over here is playing. He's playing all the good stuff. He's just trying to attack. I love it.
I wish I knew it. I wish I had more insights into his team, because it clearly is like lots of good stuff. But I feel like, Az usually has a plan, so I'm actually very eager to go and listen to the JSA podcast and listen to him tell us what made this team so special. I don't have any particular insight, but
he's got
hearing from you guys.
Well, he's got 4 great attackers, right?
He does. But the thing that you may not know is there's a lot of these guys that say you can't do things on this team. You got Wally that says what you can't do super senses. If I'm correct, I think Deadpool says the marker on the person he picks can't be masterminded or shape changed.
That's the one. Yep.
Right.
Caveman Wally's just super senses. Yeah.
Yep. Caveman Wally's super senses. The marker person, because the Deadpool Hitmonkey says no shape change, no mastermind. Right. King Deadpool Elsa, I know, gives them all the monsters pizza tokens for prob. I think they do something else. I don't remember.
But she also can do 2 attacks, and she deals penetrating damage.
And then you have freaking Pony Cat, which just says you don't get defense powers. Right? So you go in potentially with Deadpool Hitmonkey to go wham. You don't get those powers because Wally's sitting next to you. And then Cat finishes off, or vice versa. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, he's just got 4 really good attackers. So, like, if you take down 1 or 2, the rest of the 2 are going to come back and still wreck you. Because
this reminds me a lot of what I feel like. I feel like Richard and Anthony Berrigan were playing something very similar to this. I mean, they were certainly very excited about Pegasus Cap, and I think Pegasus Cap is one of the best pieces out there right now because of what you guys are saying, the no powers.
Yep.
I think it's still really hard for them to hit that 22, and I think that's. But I was looking at the. Oh, here's another thing you can go back and see. Notice there is a bracket button right there. No, at the top. So yeah, look at this.
Wait, we get to see who actually played who?
Well, he had it before, but it was on the bottom.
And it shows the seeds and everything. Anyways, so
you should keep the seeds on the other Swiss rounds too.
Okay. But anyways, so if you go back to the rounds, I can't remember. Or sorry, click on Azrith or Logan. That's fine. You'll see that they actually played in the Swiss rounds, and Az actually beat Logan. Go down a little bit more. There it is. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like that.
But it's interesting, like, Az whooped him. Sorry,
Logan was first player that time. It was Az first player in the rematch.
So something I'd love to see what I'd love to go back and watch those 2 games because it completely flip-flopped, right? And I think if you look at the last match, I think it was Logan at 300 and Az at 0. So very curious to see what happened. Anyways.
Logan's like, you know what? I'm just gonna give up this round. I'll let you see my tricks in the finals.
Sometimes you just spike that number, right? You spike the 10 and your opponent goes, well, I lose.
There you go. Very cool. Dude, I love all this new stuff. It looks great.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Pull up your plants, friends.
Was
Ooh.
this the name at the top is wrong. I have to fix that.
Brody?
Brody, yeah. Brody, I think, was the top seed going in.
He was number 1 seed.
And interesting, so Brody is the son of Denny Bottledyke, who won with plants. And so I guess like father, like son, and Brody did very well at CCO as well. And so carrying that plant marker thing forward, really loves that poison ivy. And I think she is she actually did very well in this tournament, if I remember.
So double man thing, huh? Is that just so that all the extra plant markers, they can't destroy them all?
Probably. Unfortunately I didn't actually get to watch the footage of the games yet, so I don't know for sure. But
could you imagine if we could watch the games live through HCUnits? That'd be amazing.
Well, if you go back, there is the recording is already up on HCUnits. You go to the media tab.
Media tab? Oh my god! New thing.
Yeah. Media tab has actually existed for a while. It's just, but somebody, I don't know who it was, looks like maybe the Generation Clicks guys or somebody was really on top of adding it very quickly. So,
oh my god, this is phenomenal.
So yeah, so we have an archive of the video as well. Very exciting.
Which means if you lose, you're on it forever and losing.
That happens.
Or if you're on it and you win, you're immortalized as a winner forever.
That is true. You will be immortalized as, a wiener.
Yeah.
Just not
anyways.
L7 wiener.
Who did Brody get knocked out by? Was it Az?
Logan. So at least he got knocked out by the winner.
It's very interesting, just there is kind of a weird paper, rock, scissors going on, right? Like Collector, there are ways to beat the Collector, but you kind of have to have the right team, and and that team doesn't necessarily hold up well against everything else.
Well, it has been my experience that the Collector hates 2, potentially 3 figures, and it's Caveman Wally West, Zenzi, and Jennifer Kale. Can you get them all on the same team? You can. Now go figure it out, dear listeners.
Pog. Quick, let's run to eBay and see if Jeff is going to buy a Zanzi Pog.
I just traded one away.
Oh, what are you doing?
I still have one I can borrow.
Get me a Chitari Pog. That's what I want.
Let's see. All right. So Matthew Leaner, is that where it was? Yeah. Leaner got Ghost Rider with the Dream Ruby, Wonder Woman Longsword, Kevin with that Toweret. That just seems to be on every team now. Elsa Bloodstone with Trick Arrows, Kree Soldier, Universal Weapon, Madison Bloodstone, and Perdegaton. What's this Kree Soldier do?
Universal Weapon for free?
Yep. And then he's walk-harding Skrull.
Yeah.
Walk-harding Skrull with Ghost Rider with the Dream Ruby.
That's cool.
I like it. So then Ghost Rider just deals. Do they deal his printed damage or the attacker? Oh, attacker's printed damage value to himself. It's not bad. Clever.
That's why Zenzi is so important, because of Battle Fury, but she doesn't work against Ghost Rider.
Yep. And then Kevin gets to reroll.
But, dear listeners, I am hoping that they fix that problem with the Orange Lantern Corpse.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, bring back Orange Battery. Bring back Orange Lantern Battery. Hashtag. Right? Just like it says, I have the power and no one else can use it. Ha 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 ha.
But then Ghost Rider would still override that.
No, you write it some way where it's like even
It specifically mentions Ghost Rider doesn't work.
Yeah, something like it just says "screw you, Ghost Rider" on it.
Pretty much. All right. Let's see. There's some other cool teams beyond the Wakandan Gardens. A little more. So he took the spot out for a spin. Spider Hammer, some cool Poison Ivy trick with some man things. So it's kind of a multi-faceted team with different attackers. Glad to see this.
Really good. Clever teams. Almost placed so well.
Yeah.
A little disappointed that Lady Mastermind isn't on the team, but that's all right. Yeah. So here we see the first the first spot. I think spot is pretty amazing. I can understand why the spot didn't kill Collector, but also very, this is the first few figures we're seeing from the new Spider-Man set, right?
Yes.
Not just Spider.
Have we seen any other Spider figures?
Not to my knowledge.
I wasn't looking at the sideline, but you should be playing Canon Event.
Yeah.
Canon Event.
Yeah, Canon Event's good.
That can't be that broken, right?
It's also a Spider-Man app.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Good job, Miles.
I wish I could see. I wonder how many times he Spider-Ham somebody across the map.
Oh, really? So it's fun is when you do it with Spot, when you bring someone to you and then Spider-Ham them back.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that would be great. Huh, I wonder if he did that.
If that was me, I'd be doing that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Nice. And then just the Poison Ivies with the man things. Too good.
Very, very basic, and it works, man. Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
Fair. All right. Jalen Major coming in 6. The Ulysses, Stormbreaker, Diana combo, Kevin, Black Panther, Elsa. Some just good attackers.
Ulysses the GOAT if you only made 6th.
You know what I just think is so funny that nobody seems to want to play Ulysses with the Bloodstone.
Nope.
On him. No, because he gets the Bloodstone for free, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't stop Jalen from playing the Bloodstone.
I made this comment last
play the Bloodstone, but on Black Panther, not Ulysses. I totally understand why. I just think it's really funny that there are better combinations than the actual equipment that he thematically.
It's just unfortunate that the Bloodstone doesn't give him some offensive ability. That was what it needed. But it's a perfect just stonewall for freaking teams nowadays.
It is.
Oh, you're playing Black Lantern?
I really feel like, man, I really think the Bloodstone plus the heart-shaped herb are such a good combo, because if your opponent is not playing the Bloodstone, it gives you such a huge advantage. And I'm surprised he's not playing that. But I guess maybe he doesn't have a good character with super strength to carry it around.
Yeah.
And I have not been seeing a lot of heart-shaped herbs being played recently. So
yeah, because Bloodstone is out there, but that's why I think it's interesting to play them both, because if your opponent is not playing the Bloodstone, it really is a huge advantage for you because you can heal. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, right?
Well, then what is it? What's his name? Mimic has been a bit of a deterrent.
To pick it up, yes. Yeah. It Mimic's a deterrent for picking up your traffic barrels anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I think you're right. And while we're as a reminder, we were talking a little bit about the Deadpool Love is in the Air set and the Trick Arrows, but I actually think the other piece from that set that
Copycat
we haven't mentioned is Copycat. Oh my God, what a piece!
The most must-play figure on everyone's team. Jeez.
We can look at the set when we're done.
Oh my God.
Oh, more camo.
Hey, look, he's playing Zenzi.
There you go. You think he's in Battle Fairy, right?
Too bad that's the wrong image on Zenzi.
I don't know what to tell you. Camo,
Mistakes
nice.
happen.
Like to see some camo play. Molecule Man. Definitely some different stuff. What did he butterfly into? Oh, Penguin, Wonder Woman. Not bad.
Penguin's pretty sweet choice.
I'm trying to think, who would you Penguin for? Oh, Precision Strike, I guess.
Blades, because I'm assuming he has an Ares on his sideline.
Camo already has blades.
Yeah, but he can give it to anyone else if he wanted to.
All right, who the fuck else is going to go in and attack?
I have no fucking clue, but you could. You
Give
get
him
precision
precision.
strike. He also gives back knockback automatically with one of them, I think, and one of them's
Yeah.
energy explosion.
But he has
Maybe
super
he
strength.
gives. Maybe he gives.
He's giving the precision, Patrick. He's giving precision.
Maybe he's giving an energy explosion to Molecule Man. Don't put him in a box. Don't you dare put Baby in the corner. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
I would love to. I wonder how many players fought this team and Chair Panthered away both of his butterfly options.
Right?
It is really interesting to me. It's funny. What was it? How was it? 3 months ago, 4 months ago, we were talking like every team has to have butterfly. This is the best piece out there.
Yeah.
Man, Chair Panther just neutered the hell out of poor butterfly.
You just have to play 3 of whatever copy you want to make sure you have.
Yeah,
Yep.
Or giving up 3 spots on your sideline is really, really rough.
Mm-hmm. It is, but it's a really strong figure, so maybe it's worth it.
Like Ryder really wanted to play Mern, and we wanted to play Butterfly, so 3 Merns. Who cares what Blank Panther says? He's going to be able to see through the walls and shoot you with Collector.
I mean, he also may just say, you know what, forget it, have Mern, and I'll just take 2 of the other figures.
The other option we could have done is 2 Merns, and like even if you go to what's his face, Major Logan, right? You still get better rollouts because they're gonna play. Everyone's playing Berdegaton, right? So the odds if you run into Berdegaton with a Major Logan seems okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you need 3 options with Butterfly Doo-Doo. All right, 8th place, Nate White. Adeptacon, Dr. Doom, Caveman Wally, Panther, Green Man. Okay, so we go shoot. Looks very similar to something Emilio played, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of that.
But he's got Plastic
Dr. Doom
Man.
plus extra arrow. Tough.
Weasel Green Man, super solid for range attacks. Getting +2 range, +1 attack, +2 damage. Yeah. Lucky's enhancement too, right?
Lucky's gonna save change.
Enhancement.
Has every single one of these teams had Chair Panther? Which ones have not? A couple of. I guess the one that we just talked about.
Which one? Doo-Doo?
Yeah, right. Didn't have. No,
he had
Chair Panther. So that's why.
I think everybody had Chair Panther.
Yeah.
He did not.
So
no Chair Panther.
Say Chair Panther is like the most played figure in the top 8 here.
Two teams did not have it. I think just 2 teams. Yeah, it was 3 and 4, right?
Yeah.
Pull up your plants, and those 2 didn't have it.
And that probably why it's potentially the reason why they lost. Because you couldn't stop 1 and 2 side games.
All right, before we move on, let's go back. Wait. I want to see what our hometown hero, Anthony Berrigan, played.
Oh. Captain Caveman.
10th.
Yep. So very similar to what we saw him play in some of the previous events.
Yeah.
Refining that team. I love it. And remarkably similar to what we saw as play, right?
Yeah.
If you just kind of like shuffle things around a little bit, but lots of really good stuff. Who knocked Anthony out? or he didn't make the cut.
Yeah,
He barely missed the cut. So
he
who
was
beat
10th seed
him
going
in
into
the
cut.
splits?
Not enough points, probably.
Started off strong, lost to Logan.
It's round 4 is the issue. 40 points.
Daniel Schwab.
Oh, interesting. Odin's hard to kill, right? He's got a lot of stop clicks. No, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Sometimes the dice just taketh.
I have to talk to Anthony about that one.
Yeah, that seems like it's interesting. You think that that Pegasus Cap would just eat that guy alive, but
right. And then
sometimes you miss the roll you need to. All right.
Alrighty. Let's browse and let's check out the Iconics. Would it be under 2025 Iconics? Where would it be?
I haven't separated them into years yet, so it's still in. There's still in whatever iconic Marvel Iconics. Yeah,
and it'll be all the way at the bottom.
All right. So, Deadpool, where's he at? There he is. So this is the Deadpool that comes with it. It's not too bad.
He's kind of
pricey.
Butts. He needed a 6 range is what he needed.
That would have been cool.
And not to be a close combat person on his low version.
Even if it was sidestep with 6 range.
It's hard to justify paying 125 points for anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little pricey.
I don't know. I'll say it this way though: if he was 100, like if he had 125 points and he was a 6 range, I pay for that because he has the all valuable ignore Brown for line of fire.
Yeah, that's good.
You know,
with enough enhancement and then
a Harley Quinn, you get him to hitting people for 7.
He could do stuff. Anywho, trick arrows. Another set. Third set we got, right?
Yep.
So on first one, trick arrow. Oops, that one wasn't cute. On reveal, instead of normal damage, deal a hit character 4 damage and knock them back. Seems cool. I like it. Fortify does 2.
Yep, it's actually really good for those marksman characters that only do like 1 or 2 damage. You need them to hit harder. It's worth it.
Just to delete like somebody off the map.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Love is in the air. Instead of normal damage, choose a hit character. That character can't attack until your next turn. So my first thought comes into play. You put 3 of those. You pull 3 of those if you're playing a collector, right?
Make him waste 3 turns.
What does collector do for 3 turns without any can't attack?
Well, he could still put his collection token out. You can't stop that.
The problem is to hit him. I mean, and if you're hitting collector, wouldn't you just turn off his stop clicks and just go right through? Like, I think the issue with the collector is the powers that make him just so tough to hit.
Yeah, and if you do the 22 defense,
deprive him of hitting you. Yeah, I don't see this being useful against collector.
I would say you need one of these just as like, hey, I need that just against that one figure to buy me a turn.
Okay.
I mean, I think you have it and you can play it maybe situationally, but probably not against collector.
Yeah, I like the last one though. The last one is one of my more favorite ones.
Hug it out. Instead of normal damage, place a hit character adjacent to a friendly character within 4 squares of the hit character. If you do, the hit character gains a mobile until your next turn. It's pretty good to lock somebody down.
Because immobile is a really big thing that just isn't in the game enough. And when you just can be like, you're immobile, go have fun, right? It's really fun to do that to an opponent. I did it. Something similar to that with the Phantom Zone arrow to somebody, and they got really upset.
Yeah, is that the one where you send it back to the starting area?
Yeah, that's the one where you said that's the starting area. So those types of arrows are very useful. Situational, but useful, especially against comps.
True. All righty, cool. Clay, was there anything else new?
3 pogs, buddy. You can't skip the 3 pogs.
Forgot about them. You're right. Copycat can use standard powers other characters than range can use. There's no limit on the number of powers she can use, right?
Correct. This also includes powers that are granted via equipment because it says can use. It doesn't say shown on dial. So if you give somebody a Dream Ruby on your team, now you have a second person with barrier and shape change. You don't get the cool effects because all you get is the standard power. But for 15 points now, you're getting 2 barriers instead. Well, I guess it's 30 because you got to pay for her too, right? 30 points, you get 2 barriers now.
I think it's funny that like if you have a well diversified set of powers on your team, like she could easily end up with like super sense, impervious, shape change, and invincible, like very, very tough to kill if you have the right team.
All for 15 points, right? She's gonna get prob, plex, outwit, right?
Yep.
So,
I love it.
Pretty useful. I think the other pogs are less exciting.
Are they good?
What we haven't talked about is some of the changes to the comp.
Ooh, yes, the big change of first turn immunity.
Go ahead, explain.
All right, so most recently, the rules for first turn immunity was as long as you stayed inside the first turn immunity boundary, you still had it. But recently, they've changed it to now you just have to end your turn in the first turn immunity boundary to still retain it. So what this means is an individual with super strength could run out potentially, pick up their plastic man barrel, bring it back to their starting area, and still have immune, right? That's dirty. Right? That goes back to the days of equipment, as I remember it, where you could put equipment on the field and have to go out and pick it up and bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
So some more better
players change because it definitely, it helps. Have like somebody who is outside, like a multi-base figure that is outside of the actual starting zone, and how it kind of weirdly extends the starting zone to them. And now I feel like this helps kind of clarify that a little bit too. I think that it's generally it does give a little bit more advantage to the first player, but it also I think it just helps to clear up confusion. Like, if you haven't run across the map, you should be immune. Even if you should be able to move. Should be able to, like, if you get like per Degaton, you should be able to move your character into a place where they're still in the starting zone and still safe. So I think it's a good change.
Yeah, like from the per Degaton aspect, I agree with you. Like, yes, like if you don't have to, like, say, walk around and come back in, right? Like, you can't just make the straight line. Like, yes, that's fair that you don't get screwed over. Like, but again, however, being able to go pick up your object and like not have to overextend does give better advantage to first player, like you said. So it is a double-edged sword.
Unfortunately, most rules changes will always give a bump to first player, and that's just kind of like unavoidable for the most part. I just enjoy like the fact that it doesn't penalize either player as long as they just end where they like in the same zone. So it's like, oh cool, I moved a piece of terrain, right? That's fine.
That's why he has to TK that shit back.
That's what we used to do back in the day when TK was 6. Okay, big deal. I mean, I can still shoot a piece of brown for my starting and it didn't break first turn immunity. So it's a big deal if I run out, grab that brown and bring it over. I think people will be less complaining about it once the Plastic Man barrel is gone.
Sure,
Right.
but they're making more stuff.
Yes, but right now
I think
the big
that
spender.
People just aren't building teams that are dependent upon picking anything up, as you guys had mentioned earlier, because of the mimic.
Yeah.
So maybe this becomes more of a lamented rule change once that goes away. At that point, as we're talking years in the future now. So I don't know. It seems like a I don't know. It's interesting too, because like nobody's going to be like, oh, I'm going to have a 50% chance of running out of my starting zone, try to pick this up, and then run back to my starting zone. Oh shit! I just hit the wrong roll, and now I'm stuck in the middle of the map.
Oops.
Yeah.
So nobody no. I don't think people are going to be too worried. I don't think too many people will try to abuse this because of Mimic.
Yeah.
The rule change I thought was very interesting was around generated bystanders and keywords.
Yes, that one's a good one too.
So now bystanders generated by a character gain all the keywords of the character that generated them.
It's pretty good.
And I remember like looking at some of the pogs from the Spider-Man set being like, why does this character have Underworld and no keywords? This is worthless. And then boom, they drop this on us. Oh, okay, now it makes sense. Now they're actually useful.
Perfect sense.
So I think this is very cool. It seems long overdue, honestly. I haven't had the chance to go look at all the characters that could potentially be abused, but certain there because of this, right? Like there are characters that function on that gives like special powers and benefits to those with keywords. And now if those all of a sudden share a keyword, they become potentially very interesting.
Perfect example is the Sinister Syndicate guys. If someone generates a POG that gets that, man, all those chases give them all those powers, which is really, really nice.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
True. Yep. Yeah. What is it? What was it? Was it Earth X that generated all of the? I mean, we're talking like Silver Age now here.
Stegosaur, the
Steg.
I mean, you could also just talk about.
Oh, are you talking about the Iron Man in the chair?
No, or they generated. Oh yeah, I mean clearly there's APOC. Yeah, that's very interesting. But I was thinking, I think it was Earth X set that were they had like the mob boss.
I think that was EAX. Earth X.
And they all generate Earth X, right? So I don't know.
It was dinosaurs.
Now all of a sudden they're gaining. They could.
Or Stegron.
There you go.
Stegron.
Yeah, Stegron.
And then Dr. Demonicus.
Right? Oh yeah.
But it's hard to generate his bystanders through
Jason
him.
Weingard.
Yeah, but didn't they ban him in Silver?
Yeah, but if they ever decide to legacy that guy or bring someone back, because I have a feeling
because of his mind
this
control,
is really interesting. Yeah,
they won't.
So if you actually played Wingard, now Wingard is the one generating them, so they would get Wingards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not a long shot to say that when they make the X-Men 97 set that probably is going to be releasing at Worlds this year, that Hellfire guys would be in there. Man, the Hellfire Club just seems like that makes sense for the cartoon shows, as they were like one of the major villains.
Were they Van Millen in X-Men 97? I haven't watched it.
They're shown in it. They don't. They're not Sinister. Sinister was the primary villain, and so was like Bastion, and I believe the robot things that Bastion was making.
Oh, Sentinels?
No,
you're talking about the Reavers.
The humanoid Sentinels he was making. Yeah, it was a cool concept, but they alluded to them when they were doing. Is it? It's not Genosha where they take. Is it when they buy Genosha and they make it a mutant haven?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, they're in that, and I'd love to see those chases from the previous cartoon set get legacy. That would be a great idea. Like, oh look, old cartoon figures become the legacy for the next cartoon set. That sounds tight. Bring back Harry Leland. That's all I'm saying.
Make Harry good again.
Yeah, I mean, he was the great nullifier of all the placement characters.
I love Harry Leland. Oh my God, he's so on the like defense shell teams. Whew, he's tough.
No, he's the
That
guy.
man was the best guy.
Now the other change, and I'm trying to find it in the comp, I'm not seeing it, but I remember hearing that they clarified around terrain markers and multi-target attacks. I believe they changed it so that you can now target multiple characters with a terrain marker. So if you have, say, camo, and you want to punch somebody with like, a terrain marker that deals +3 extra damage, camo has triple targets. Now you can split that damage up. And so, camo is certainly somebody who I think got better with this change. Previously, there was confusion around whether or not you could multi-target or not, because there was contradicting information in the pack versus the comp. And so I believe that's now been clarified, and you interestingly enough, can multi-target, whereas I think previously we'd ruled most cases that you could not.
Well, I guess it makes common sense, which is a rare thing for us to say on this podcast. But it's like hitting someone with like a stop sign. Like you can hit multiple people with the stop sign before it breaks.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. I agree. Yeah, I think like thematically this makes sense. And it's also consistent too, because I believe you could multi-target with ranged attacks.
Yes.
I mean, that's good. I like it. How many times is that going to be a thing? But, why not?
More people with super strength.
I've had it come up. I've had it come
so
up multiple times. So, yeah. I'm just glad they finally clarified it. I think it's long overdue.
Well, because Kong has multi-targets too.
Yeah, Kong's a really good example. Yeah.
Can I get +3 attack with my 4 damage?
Kong! Oh my God, it's been a year and he's gone. He's so good.
Dude, people love playing the new hotness. That's how it always is.
Kong has went from a 50-point figure to a 200-point figure, right, buddy? That's where he lives now.
I don't know. Caleb played double Kongs.
200-point Kong disappeared with the Bloodstone.
Yes.
I think 50-point Kong is still amazing use of 50 points.
But there's a lot of people that have answers for him, right? He's just a big target. People are going to auto delete him. So
yes,
you can play him, but you need to have him as like, this is not the team you're looking for.
All these teams had an answer to him, right? Collector can collect him.
Collector can one-shot.
We saw a whole bunch of man things. We saw the Deadpool and King Deadpool and Elsa, right? Like finding that 55-point sweet spot that can kill a Kong quickly is still really critical to building a good team. And so even though we didn't see any Kongs in these top teams, I think the people are still building with Kong in mind and have to have an answer just in case.
Because otherwise he's going to sneak up and bite your ass.
Yeah, he is. Nom 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 nom.
Love.
All right.
Yeah. So we talked about it a little bit before the podcast. You guys want to talk about the change that I made to the win rate percentage? Maybe that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
We can definitely show it off where now you can actually see the best figures in the game to help you increase your building ability. Oh man, listeners, you better pay attention because we're only going to teach you how to do this once.
So I listened to many of the other folks' podcasts for HeroClix, and I think it came up a couple times, maybe on the Critical Clicks, and I think also the JSA podcasts. They were looking at the meta, and if you sort by the win percentage, the hosts would be like, oh yeah, well the best you can get a win percentage is 50%. I'm like, man, that something is broken if that is.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Something is totally wrong with this, and this needs to be fixed. And so I've now I've fixed the way in which it's calculated, and so, but the short of it is that now it will correctly be the closer that something is to 100% win rate, the better that it is. And Jeff, I think you're not presenting anymore.
Do you want the Adeptacon meta or the regular meta?
Place to start, since we were talking about that earlier. So now, if you go to the meta and you can sort by the win percentage.
So you click the meta tab.
Just went to the regular meta.
You want this?
Go back to the Adeptacon.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So
click the blue
sort
box.
By win percentage.
And sort by win percentage.
All right, there we go. So now it becomes a very interesting thing, and scroll up a little bit because you're actually up there. No, the other, that's down, up.
I am up.
So it's interesting because Harley Quinn is actually number one, and this figure is so good, so long overdue for seeing their due. And it's really, now you can see that she has an 85.7 win percentage, which effectively means she was in 7 games.
It's called play her to
win percentage. Then maybe, so then maybe where it gets more interesting is when you look at the next two, Predagaton and Black Panther, who we know are featured very, very heavily throughout the tournament. 20 teams and 21 teams respectively, and Predagaton winning 83% of his games. And part of that is because he's on so many teams, he's now going to win. Like if he's on both teams, he's going to be a winner in that match, right? Because he has and same thing with Chair Panther. So as the feature, as the unit is more prominently played across teams, the higher the win percentage, as you would actually expect. So this is now fixed. But it's interesting because it paints a different perspective from what we had seen before. You see certain units pop out like Madison, Kree Soldier, and even Poison Ivy down there, right? Poison Ivy was on a few teams and did very, very well.
Yeah. So basically, the smaller number of teams, and the higher percentage, the more the figure wins.
Yeah. So if that player
essence, yes,
happens to be the person who wins the entire tournament and they're the only one who plays it, then yes, that piece will
have 100% win
be
rate.
very high up.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
It pretty much says like, hey, this figure did something special at this event, and it probably was a big reason why the person won.
Got you. Okay. No, it's definitely a different perspective to look at the data from the game. I like it.
It makes so that sorting by the win percentage versus just the sheer number of wins shows you something different. Because if you looked at just the sheer number of wins, Harley's going to disappear there. And yes, Predagaton and Black Panther will still be at the top. But it's just a different way to kind of look at the data. And so
I like it. Idea. Good call. Good call. Is there any other new features?
Yeah, so maybe something else that we could chat about briefly. If you go to the team builder, so if you actually go and create a team, you're going to first land on this page where you are going to be required to put in a team name.
What?
I know, I'm so sick of seeing teams that say unnamed team. Yes, you're going to have a little bit of inspiration and throw out a team name before. But also set the format, because I know there are some people out there who don't even set the format appropriately before.
It's always the golden.
Yeah.
Just make sure, folks, that whatever team name you put out there better be as ridiculous as possible, just so everyone remembers that it's you.
So go ahead and create.
Modern, let's do it. 300.
And so now when the header here is going to look a little bit different. You'll still see most of the same information and even have the same number of buttons. but it's try to condense it a little bit more. You notice in particular there's the bar that presents the information around which powers you have present on your team is different, kind of ordered. I was going back and forth on this. I also changed like the status bar so that the kind of area above that shows what you have built, or what like format you're using and what theme team, etc. Where this maybe gets a little more interesting is, so if turn off the rules enforcement, or actually you already have it disabled. Sorry.
What a cheater!
I know.
No, it wasn't able. I just turned it off.
Build something illegal for us.
Put 2 primes on your team.
There you go.
Pull a Carlos.
Or just go over it. Okay, so now it's going to very clearly tell you that you have an invalid team at the top there.
Yes. You're over points and you're playing 2 uniques.
Yep. And then, of course, if you hover over the tooltips, it'll tell you why. But if you look and see the toolbar itself, it shows you. So it's very easy to see if you have something that's wrong. You don't have to go searching across for the red anywhere else.
Nice.
Change the format to silver.
Points 400.
Sure. So this was something that came up and that I added as well. And you'll notice in the toolbar there's a button that was added. And so to the 2 buttons to the left of the delete the team button. So you can now, yep, there you go. Silver Age filtering is now going to get rid of all the modern units. So if you're trying to build a silver team and you're like, oh, I can't tell what's modern and what's not, and I keep going over this stupid modern limit. Well, now this will fix it. So now if you go.
Nice.
That's very helpful, because that's like, hey man, I don't know what silver is and what silver isn't.
Exactly. And so, yeah, if you are trying to figure out what we're talking about, silver has a limit where half the build, up to half the build can be modern, but below it, everything else has to, you have to have at least 200 points of silver, true Silver Age figures. And so now this will help you figure out what those are.
Nice, dude. That's awesome. Clever.
All sorts of new little things, as well as just a whole bunch of polish to the UI.
But dear listeners, please remember that this is a beta website. It's still under construction.
It's probably not for very long, though. So probably by the time people are listening to this, this will be the new thing.
But regardless, be nice to Clay.
Yeah, be nice to me.
All right.
No, just kidding. No, people are actually too nice. I get too much love. I want more hate. I need people to give me more feedback.
That's what Clay said.
Fix it.
Clay, you're gonna have to start playing the heel.
Clay couldn't be a heel if he tried, unless he tries to be the John Cena heel, where he's like, "I hate everyone because you all abuse me."
I actually just watched there's a Netflix documentary on what's his name, Vince.
Oh, geez.
McMahon, right, Mr. McMahon. Yeah. It was pretty interesting. I was very much in the camp of like somebody who grew up watching wrestling and then kind of like stopped as I became an adult. And so there were so many of these like generations, like periods of time that I've heard of these wrestlers, but I've never actually I never watched them wrestle. I wasn't watching wrestling at the time. It was interesting just to kind of go through the history of WWE. And
I was a big Attitude Era guy, and then after that it fell off.
Is try and come down and see WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas.
I'd be down to go to WrestleMania.
That's this upcoming month.
It's too soon. Maybe not. I could probably get tickets.
You don't want to know how expensive they are.
No, my buddy gets free tickets.
Okay. Oh. You can take your good friend Patrick here with you.
What day next month is it? April?
It's the end of April. I think it's like the 23rd or something like that.
No.
Or is it the 19th? It could be the 19th, 20th, 21st.
Well, that's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh no. 19th, 20th. I'm free that weekend. It's that 26th, 27th. We have a wedding.
I think it is. I'll give you a quick answer right here. Let's see. WrestleMania. Not Restimania. WrestleMania when? April 19th to the 20th.
Ooh. I do have a plane ticket to Vegas.
I mean, all you got to do is say, "Hey, Patrick, let's get going," and I will come with you, buddy.
I'll see what I can do.
I love it. Beer's on me.
Challenge accepted.
I have a new brewery down here that I actually want to take both of you to. So you probably, oh boy, we'd be in trouble if we all drank there.
It's all right. Clay's driving.
I added this a while ago, but I haven't ever mentioned it. I don't know if anybody's figured out that. So the homepage that you're showing right now actually shows the newest units up in the top.
Dots.
It does. Beautiful.
And if you click on them, it takes you to the unit.
What?
No way.
No way. For the past 2 days I've been doing that? No.
Wait, does the shark not work?
Shark's dead.
Shark's dead.
I don't know what's shark.
It's
Anyways.
beta. It's all right.
He's a zombie shark, so it makes sense that he's dead.
Hence the play on words, my friend.
Anyways, so yeah,
all right.
Want to find the newest stuff? You can just look at the homepage.
I love it. All right. Well, until next time, friends. Don't forget to practice rolling your dice.
Good night.
Good night.